instance, for this launch, there will be a voice called 起飞时刻动4时27分31秒497毫秒。
Would you like to give that to us in English?
Okay,
Professor Yang?
that's an example. So that called the real liftoff time is 4 o'clock, 27 minutes and 31 second and several milliseconds.
So that would be phonetically similar to
Yeah. So that's very, so every time the same style.
Yeah, but the cruise looks calm and firm, as they call it, and they're ready to experience.
They still haven't
two of
put
them
their-
are first timers.
Yeah, they still haven't put their visor, the helmet on properly,
Yeah.
have they?
So you can see Miss Wang Haoze sit nearest
far
to
end,
the
right?
camera. And already we can see maybe already her face mask has already her face window has already been closed, I believe.
Wait, she's the one that's at the bottom of the screen, or the farther one? She's the one at the far end,
closer
right?
to the
bottom.
closer
Bottom of
to
the screen,
Bottom
okay.
of the screen. Yes, exactly. So as I mentioned, she is 03. Usually the flight engineer and all the payload experts sit in this position. And 02, as I mentioned, is Mr. Song Lingdong.
He's got the parachute button.
Yeah. To control, just not this time, just during the reentry half a year later. I hope he will also conduct a vertical landing.
Well, that would be impressive. It would be
That
something
will be
to remember
more
for
convenient
him.
for all
Yeah.
the 3 crew members.
And especially for him being his first time up there and the
Yeah.
first time return, if you get a vertical landing.
But horizontal, you can imagine you're being strapped by the safety belt to your
Yeah.
seat, maybe face down.
Yes, exactly. Not very comfortable.
So if the vehicle, that there is a deviation between the center of his mass and a symmetrical axis. So because of this deviation, usually in most cases it will lie down. So that will be much more inconvenient for the astronauts.
So we're looking at some of the conditions right now at the temperature, 3 degrees only.
These are our
But
meteorological-
visibility,
yeah.
with very low wind speed, right? 0.8 meters per second,
Which is
actually.
good,
Is that low?
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually
Good
speaking, it
visibility.
is deep autumn in Jiuquan Satellite Center, much colder than
Yeah,
the
than
night
here,
of
right?
Beijing. We can see Miss Sun Ye, the very say close.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 5 more minutes to go till ignition time. And just talk us through what the astronauts will be experiencing during
Still
the launch
monitoring
before they
all
reach
the
orbit.
parameters, and also maybe, as I mentioned, maybe they will already close their face masks, and
各号
also
注意，我是0号，5分钟准备
That's the 5 minutes
T-minus
countdown.
5 minutes and counting.
，5分钟准备。
But the astronauts won't be able to see outside at the first stage, and then after the jettison of the escape
Payload
tower
fairing.
and the fairing, they're going to have a little window they can see outside. Yeah, see the horizon.
The what was the launch azimuth or the flight direction of this Launch March 2F is going to the east and then a little bit to the south. So maybe at the separation of the second stage and the Shenzhou spacecraft, maybe they can already see the sunshine, maybe. And at that moment, they can have the light from the window.
And Mr. Shi, can you give us a sort of equivalent of what it would feel like to be an astronaut during this whole, after the liftoff, especially with the G-force and everything, what would it feel like to us, if we can find something?
If you can imagine you're
relatable.
in a car, in a sports car, and you accelerate very quickly. It's like an airplane or even faster. Then you go vertically, but you're going vertically up with the acceleration, and then that would happen in the first, let's say, 10 minutes. The first 3 or 4 minutes, you get very quick acceleration, and there's what we call a max Q, the biggest time biggest stress that you can experience in the launching.
The biggest stress.
Yeah,
this would be
and
the
then
worst
there's also issues what we call a pogo. Sometimes it go up and down.
Oh.
And
Vibration.
Then, vibration. It's a vertical vibration we call pogo. And then after like 10 minutes, and then there's a seize of the engine, and then you feel microgravity. You don't feel anything. It's like floating in space. So that's the whole process of launching. I think.
Usually, the thrust of the engines is a constant value.
各号注意，我是0号 3分钟准备。
Okay,
minutes.
T minus 3 minutes and counting. But you know that the propellants become less and less. So the acceleration become more and more. You can feel more and more G forces. So that is very normal. So usually the max G forces happen during the separation of the stage. So that is the reason.
And this pogo stage you're talking about, I guess that's why they need the seat to be so
You
snugly
can feel that
fit to
all
their
your organs
comfort,
will
right?
go out.
Yeah. It's like
To reduce the amount of space that you could be hitting against
it's
a
a
chair.
big suffering. Yes.
You know that Mr. Yang Liwei feels extremely uncomfortable because you know that the G forces combines with the vibration together. This can never be simulated on the ground simultaneously.
So they
very
can't really
rarely.
prepare for this then, you're saying? If it can't be simulated on the ground, can they
They will
train
have
enough for
trainings
this?
of the G forces. They will have the trainings of the vibration, but
But not
on the ground,
together.
they cannot be combined together.
So then
But
only these...
there's room for you improve the rocket itself and make it more smooth.
So really, only astronauts who've made the successful mission to space and back they're the only people who've actually can experience this movement, I suppose, of the launch. You can't replicate it here on Earth so far.
It's out of the earth.
Okay, please notice it's already less than 2 minutes for the liftoff. And next, as I emphasized, some of the arm connected to the launch vehicle will be
separate,
unplugged.
So all those umbilical cords, essentially. They're looking very tense there. This is the control center in Zhouquan.
We're going to have countdown at any time.
So we also have cameras mounted on these arms to monitor the separation procedure,
Oh,
the
okay.
unplug procedure. So
they all look
today we
ready?
have more measures than before to ensure the safety.
I wonder how nervous they're feeling.
我是0号，1分钟准备。
This is the 1 minute countdown now.
T minus 1 minute and counting.
That means everything has to be in green light.
I believe
Nobody has to press the red button.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah. The number of systems that has to work together.
But they're so practiced at this now. You know, they're so experienced with this whole
Look,
process.
all the
40
arms
seconds.
untouched.
30秒。
30 seconds to go.
So the transfer of power supply also accomplished.
20秒。
The rocket
20
is on its own.
seconds.
Maybe the astronaut will salute.
Yeah. Normally.
I feel the tension. 10 seconds.
8、7、6、
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Salute.
我。
The report of the real liftoff time. And the tower is cleared now.
I counted as well after the ignition,
Yeah.
about 2 seconds, yes.
So
that's it.
we
That's Long
already
March
have
carrier
a
rocket.
successful liftoff. After about 2 minutes, we will have what Yansu mentioned, the first separation,
Right,
the
we'll be
jettisoning
watching
of
that
the
in a minute.
emergency escape tower.
This you see is a strap-on booster.
Yeah, exactly. So this
The
is
camera
the
from
camera
the outside.
mounted on the core stage.
Yeah.
We can see 2 of the 4 strap-on boosters, 2 of the 4 side boosters. So as I mentioned, each have 1 engine.
Looking
I
down.
think we're hearing,
Yeah,
really,
looking backwards.
So nominal tracking.
Now we can see that on the right of the screen is the camera mounted inside the re-entry capsule, and on the left is what the camera, as Yan Song the camera mounted on the core stage, looking backwards.
so at this point they're not feeling so bad. It's when the boosters come
We
off.
have
you're
G
saying
forces
that's
and
when-
vibration, not very comfortable.
They're accelerating. Yes.
And it became more and more worse because with more and more acceleration, with less and less propellants.
So it will get progressively worse. Right now is not the worst part.
There's a max Q. There's maximum time. You know.
Right.
You're in the transonic procedure.
So any minute now, I think we'll see the propellants come
The
off,
speed
right,
is
the
not
boosters.
still.
It is very interesting that maybe at this, maybe next ceremonies in Beijing, maybe on the top of this building, you can see the trajectory because it is very bright. And
We
it's
should
close to
get
Beijing.
outside.
You can see the trajectory of the second stage.
Now you can pay attention to the escape tower. It's going to be ejected anytime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At about 2
It's gonna be
minutes.
a small fire on top of the rocket.
Right, looking at the very point of the rocket. Oh,
Oh,
there
okay.
it is. It just
Great.
went.
Jettison.
Yeah.
But still, we have rocket engines on the payload fairing. If anything wrong happens, we can still use the engines to separate the rocket.
The image on the right there that we saw was a simulation, was it? Or,
Yeah. And now this is a real
This is the-
real
yeah.
optical. Yeah.
Well, on the left of the screen is the infrared video images.
Yeah. Next stage is the separation of the strap-on booster. You're going to see four
Yeah.
strap-ons are going to be
Four
separated at the same
light
time.
spots.
Yeah.
Okay. It
Looks like it's happening.
And this is when the
Yeah.
villagers will be
Separated. And
glad
then the
that
separation
they're
of the first
watching
stage.
a film
Yeah.
somewhere.
Okay. The first stage also separated.
有权助推器分离，
That is the announcement of the boosters having separated.
Yeah. So the rocket is on the second stage.
Yeah. Yes. And the next step will be the separation of the two payload fairings. At that moment, maybe the astronaut can enjoy the view.
Yeah. The separation of the fairing means you're out of this world now. Then you're out of the atmosphere, and you have no drag
Do
from
not need the protection of the
Literally out of
aerodynamic
this world.
forces.
No.
Now, this is a video get by the camera mounted on the rear part of the second stage. And this is a video inside the payload fairing. We can see the folded solar panels of the Shenzhou spacecraft.
Ah, and when that is released,
You
Okay.
see the,
Yeah.
the
Separated.
fairing's
there we
gone.
go. The bottom right screen there.
Fairing's gone. Now they can see the world.
But obviously, at this moment, the Shenzhou spacecraft is still in the shadow area of the Earth, so the
There's
astronaut cannot
not
see
much
the light of
view.
the sun.
Yeah.
But they can already view the beautiful Earth now.
They're checking their
It should be
manual
above
again.
Shandong at this moment.
Not yet. Maybe 7 minutes later.
Yeah.
Café.
Mate.
Paulistas e cariocas têm lá suas diferenças, mas concordam que Visa Infinite Fast Pass pode dar aquela agilizada no embarque.
Desde que eu comprei meu Citroën Basalt, Murilo vive me pedindo carona, olha aí.
Eu ia perder a chance de andar num carro com um design como esse.
Ainda bem que tem muito espaço, né? Esse é espaçoso.
É só uma caroninha até o aeroporto. Vou esperar o meu GPS aqui, ó. O motor desse a gente vai chegar em 2 minutos. Caroninha pra floricultura. Caroninha pra praia. Mercado, muito obrigado. Pet shop.
Tá, Patinha?
And also direction of the second stage. And the next step will be the shutdown of the main engine. But the full vernier engine is still working for several seconds to ensure the accuracy of the trajectory. Now you can see that's the second stage. Because it is at night, it's very bright.
Yeah.
This is a camera mounted on the end of the second stage, looking backwards.
So far with the Shenzhou missions, have we ever had a daytime launch?
I
With
think yes,
manned
we
missions?
do.
Manned missions?
Yes, we do.
The second stage works much longer than the first stage. Although it has a shorter length, has less propellants, but because it only has one main engine, about 80 tons level, so it works much longer. Okay,
It's one of
Qingdao
the-
ground station
that's
has
one of
already
those.
have the data link connected to the launch vehicle.
So it's
But
near
this moment,
Shandong.
Maybe connected.
but this moment is still to the west.
Yes,
We're on
west,
track.
yeah.
Yeah. And then it will fly across the Qingdao.
USB 雷达跟踪正常，遥遥正
And
常。
still have connections with Weinan Station in Shanxi province.
That's my hometown.
Yeah.
Getting a good view there.
So you can visit the ground station.
So I guess it's above Hebei at this moment.
USB 雷达
Maybe in Shandong.
yeah.
遥色调正常，东风飞行正常。
So after Shandong, it's going to be entering the Pacific, and then the boat will take over.
Our
for the control,
space
yeah.
tracking ship, our Yuanwang 3 space tracking ship.
So we can really draw out the map of exactly where this
You can
rocket
see
is
the
passing
bright
by
flame
now.
of the vernier engine, and also in the middle is the main engine, very bright. So the vernier engine can have a servo unit to move its direction to change the attitude of the second stage, and also to keep it stable.
What period of time are we looking at before they reach orbit?
About more than 9 minutes,
More than 9
after
minutes.
launch.
So I think you can see that the engine is continue to accelerate the capsule so that it can reach roughly 7.8 kilometers per second speed, which is what we call cosmic speed for not coming back to Earth, but it's circling around the Earth. That's the minimum speed that they request to go around the Earth, and also they're accelerating to the altitude of which is a little less than 400 kilometers above the Earth, which is the station altitude.
We said earlier how they chose this time so that the whole rendezvous and docking, the whole process will take less time, 6.5 hours, right? Then what's the longest that China's manned space missions have taken then for this process?
For the Shenzhou, for the Tiangong 1 and the Tiangong 2 missions, usually they took 2 days.
2 days,
Okay,
that's
the main
a big
engine
difference.
of the second stage has shut down, which means that the main acceleration procedure is already being accomplished. And the astronaut now, the G-forces is much less than before,
Right.
much more comfortable than before. And then with several seconds will be the shutdown of the 4 vernier engines. You can now still see the 4 vernier engines.
Let's check in now with Zheng Yibing, who's at the Beijing Aerospace Control Center. Yibing, so everybody must be tracking the progress of the rocket there. What's the latest?
Shenzhou 19 spacecraft has been launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, and we saw the exciting moment of ignition and liftoff of the flight combination of Long March 2 FCAR rocket and Shenzhou 19 manned spacecraft. And this is the 14th manned space flight mission of China. And also, its mission is to send the Shenzhou 19 crew to China's Tiangong space station to take the baton from the Shenzhou 18 crew for the 6 months long and stay in China's space station. And also here at the Beijing Aerospace Control Center, we saw the whole process of this launch sequence. From the see-off ceremony from the Wentiangge Pavilion to the system check at the Beijing Aerospace Control Center, and from the counting down at the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center to the separation of the boosters and the first and second stages. And while the 3 Taikonauts, or the Chinese astronauts, just like Mr. Yang Yuguang in the studio said, they look very comfortable. So Mr. Cai Xuzhe and Song Lingdong and Wang Haoze, they look very calm and determined. They do prepare for this mission. And while this mission, or the flight mission of the Shenzhou 19 crew takes a fast rendezvous and docking mode, just like the previous 7 mission from the Shenzhou 12 and 3 years ago to the Shenzhou 18 just 6 months ago. They all took the fast rendezvous docking mode. It took about 6.5 hours to get for the spacecraft to get to the Tiangong space station. So now at the current time, we saw on the big screen is the status of the Shenzhou 19 crew, but in the moment later we are going to see the Shenzhou 18 crew. They are waiting in the Chinese space station and waiting for the coming of the newcomers to the station. And during the recent days, they have made a very full preparation to welcome the newcomers. And we're going to see the meet and fantastic meet, space meet of the 2 Shenzhou crews in China's Tiangong space station. Although this is a routine launch mission after China's space station entered its application and development stage, we all see the details, and we also see that is very exciting moment. Just like the crews of the Shenzhou's always said in the China space station together, China's space is always worth looking forward to. Back to you.
Yibing, thank you so much for being at the Beijing Aerospace Control Center.
Just during Yibing's description, we've already seen the successful separation between the end stage and the Shenzhou spacecraft. And now you may notice that the Shenzhou spacecraft is already in the sunshine area. You can see the beautiful curvature of the horizon of the Earth. very beautiful.
This is the
That-
camera
that's a pretty
outside the
special view.
capsule.
Yeah.
And so soon we'll be expecting the solar panels to open up, right?
Unfolded will be extended
And that-
I believe,
that's
within several
considered-
That
minutes.
marks the success. Yeah.
Although we don't usually hear the announcement from the control center of the
With
official,
the commander
for a
of
bit
the
later, right?
launch site. Now you can see the camera on the propulsion module, which can monitor the unfolding procedure of the launch solar panels.
You know, we just heard some various reports there.
And also, as I
everything being normal.
emphasized, you can see the beautiful curvature of the Earth's horizon. Okay,
Yes.
unfolded. Each of our solar panel wing have 4 pieces. The Shenzhou spaceship.
How many solar panel wings
Two
does this
wings.
have? Two
wings.
wings, yeah.
Each have 4 pieces.
And then we can see the Shenzhou 18 crew in there eagerly awaiting. So we expect the 2 crews to meet by midday Beijing time, right? By
Exactly.
Meet for lunch.
The fifth
Lunch dates.
The fifth rendezvous of different crew in orbit.
Yes, the capsule itself has to find the sun so that the solar panel can be driven by a system called SADA to face the sun to generate maximum power to provide the capsule with electricity.
It finds that automatically.
Yeah, it has a sensor.
And the orbit maneuver to chasing the TANGO space station will all be done automatically.
We're hearing that they're saying the panels
The
are
report, the
rotating
ground,
normally.
ground staff report, as Yan Song has mentioned, the SADA working normally. Tianlu is the name of the Tianlian data relay satellite.
We're talking about the tracking there. and-
Yeah. Now you can see it's already in the daytime. You can see the Earth is so bright.
Oh, I
above the
was
Pacific,
wondering
yes.
what
Yeah.
that was
It's
actually.
in
I
the
wasn't
Pacific.
sure.
It's already above the Pacific Ocean.
They find the sun.
Sunflowers.
So it's another day for them.
That's the Shenzhou 19 crew speaking to the command center. Oh wait, the other way around.
The voice of Mr. Cai Xizhuo.
Report on the health conditions.
That's the Shenzhou 19 crew speaking.
Feeling good.
That's a classic line, isn't it? Yeah, we're feeling good.
Yeah.
Obviously, he is very calm.
16号，经地面确认，座舱环境正常，可以打开面窗。
Is this the little window that there's that?
They
The
can open
helmet.
their
The
face mask.
helmet,
They can.
yeah.
Okay.
Because this moment, the inner atmosphere inside the cabin is in a normal condition.
There, they just opened it
Not
up.
hazardous to the astronauts.
What sort of temperatures is inside this capsule right
in
now?
room temperature, usually
20
very
something.
comfortable
Yeah.
for them. Maybe 20, maybe 25 degrees.
Yeah.
But when they open up the that helmet, the visor, would they feel a change in the pressure?
No. It's adjusted to the human adapted conditions. Yeah. What we call life support system on board the capsule.
Okay, both the space tracking ship, Changjiang 3号, or the Yuanwang 3 tracking ship, and also the Tianlu or the Tianlian data relay satellite have normal communication link with the vehicle. So we have redundancy measures, both from the sky and from the sea.
So this view we're looking at right now on the screen. So this is a camera.
A
launched
camera
from
mounted
the-
on the Shenzhou spaceship.
and that
Outside.
bright orb is
The bright
sphere
one
is
on the top right is the Earth.
That's
With cloud.
really fascinating view.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's alright, not cloud. Maybe it's because
white
it is
color?
too bright. It's
Yeah.
just because it's too bright.
Yeah.
That's not a view everyone gets to see.
It is over exposure of the camera.
I hope we can go there and see it.
Maybe with these privately,
Yeah.
operated spacecrafts.
You will be the fifth batch of astronauts.
As Sun Ye was saying earlier, that the frequency of these launches now, these manned missions, every half a year. This is it's impressive, isn't it?
Yes, to maintain the permanent presence of human beings on board the station. You have to do that in rotation every half year. Astronauts do have longer times. They stay in the station. One of the longest one, an American, spent almost 2 years in the station. But when he came back, he said, I went to a foot massage. And the foot massager said, I've never tried a foot so tender.
Wow.
Now is a video. Oh, this is a 3D animation. So you can see, although it is a 3D animation, but it is real data driven. So the status, including the status of the panels, represents the real condition.
实施轨道与遥测数据监视判断。神舟19号飞船已进入近地点高度200公里，远地点高度362公里，倾角41.5度，周期1小时30分钟的预定轨道。太阳帆板展开，飞船工况正常。
You know, that the spaceship is operating normally, the astronauts are feeling good, the panels are open, operating well. Pretty much as expected, everything just went.
But that apogee and perigee, it's in the elliptical orbit. It's going to be having another maneuver before it's ready for rendezvous.
It has a very small eccentricity. The perigee is 200 kilometers, and the apogee, or the highest point, is 362 kilometers.
And if you put that in lay terms for us, the apogee and the perigee, we're talking about...
It's like an elliptical orbit. It's in relative
like
to
egg.
Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has a near Earth point and it's also far Earth point. So that makes an elliptical orbit.
Elliptical.
The highest point is the station orbit.
We're looking
So the
at
commander
images
will
of all the
announce the
command
success,
centers.
and we will see the big red screen,
Yes, we'll be hearing
As
it very
tradition.
soon.
like my tie.
Officials, comrades. Based on the flight data and report from Beijing Command and Control Center, the Long March 2 Y-19 carrier rocket has sent Shenzhou 19 manned spacecraft to the preset orbit. The solar panel has been unfolded successfully and is functioning well. I now declare the launch of Shenzhou 19 mission a complete success. Thank you.
Beijing 东风报告。我是北京东风，请讲。发射结果宣布完毕。北京明白。